Bonjour and welcome to Cass Lake Bena Middle School, located at the heart of Leech Lake Band of Ojibwe Reservation in the state of Minnesota. Our school serves a student population that is 89% Native American, and 80.4% of students qualify for free and reduced meals. Educational attainment for our students has often lagged behind other Minnesotan schools. Looking at the Minnesota Comprehensive Assessments, or MCAs, we see that our students meet the grade level standards at a lower rate than their peers statewide. Cass Lake Bena teachers love our students and want them to succeed in every aspect of their life. We were looking for a way to help students feel engaged and excited while being educated. If we could increase engagement and excitement, maybe we could inspire increased academic achievement, higher rates of attendance, and decreased behavioral referrals in classes. We decided that we wanted to try out virtual reality headsets in our classrooms and received the National Indian Impacted Schools Association Stepping Stones grant to make this dream come true. VR headsets were new to many students at our school. Only 18.1% of students have used them in the past. The Stepping Stones grant allowed the school to purchase a class set of class VR headsets, 360-degree cameras, and funding for staff development. The VR teacher team came in over the summer to be trained on the devices and develop lessons. They enjoyed it almost as much as the students did. The VR team consisted of teachers from grades 5 through 8 and many different content areas. The teachers teach math, language arts, social studies, science, and industrial technology. Through this project, we have been able to take students on virtual field trips across the country and globe. Students have been able to explore from the oceans to deserts and from sandy beaches to volcanic eruptions. For example, students were able to see the Milky Way while being on top of a mountain in Brazil and swam next to sharks in the deep ocean. Let's take a look at one of the videos the students saw on their VR headsets in the classroom.
Picking up the tiny vibrations of those amberjacks. Let's take a closer look inside. That huge liver fuels long, non-stop migrations, and those muscles warm her blood.
Now this is what students look like viewing that video.
Come at me, see what happens.
Lessons using the VR headsets turned into whole class adventures. Students were fully immersed in the scene that we were studying and can be guided by the teacher to critically think about the items they are viewing.
Press that back button.
Students love the experience. We surveyed our students, and one of the questions asked if they look forward to classes when they know that they will be using VR headsets, and 95.2% of students said yes. When asked if they understand the information better, 88.9% said yes. And when it came to remembering the information, 87.3% said they remember the content more when taught with the VR devices. Teachers incorporated formative assessments into the VR lessons to see if students could communicate what they learned. Teachers were pleased with the results. This is shown on the teacher surveys. 100% of teachers agreed that the VR devices made their lessons more engaging. 100% said it helped their students retain the content more than previous years. And 100% said the devices increased engagement in their classrooms. Our school hosted a STEM night that 71 people attended, and the VR headsets were a main attraction. Parents were able to talk with 3 teachers who have implemented the devices in their classrooms and were shown mini lessons on the content their students are experiencing. The parents and guardians were asked to complete a short survey when it was done, and here are the results. 70% said they didn't even know that Cass Lake Bena had these resources, and 100% of parents found STEM night enjoyable. So has the implementation decreased behaviors and increased attendance? The percentage of students that are chronically absent was reduced by 8.7% in classrooms that used VR headsets this fall. Also, the classrooms that used VR headsets had 33% less behavioral referrals than classrooms that did not use the headsets over the same time period. Teachers that have implemented the devices continue to value the immersive experience it has for their students. They reported the students were very engaged and talked excitedly about their settings with peers while completing their tasks. Let's hear from a few teachers here.
This year, with the opportunity to incorporate virtual reality, I've seen a major increase in student engagement and their willingness to accomplish the tasks. I've also seen a major increase in the learning that is actually taking place and the learning that's being transferred into their long-term memory versus that short-term recall. They always look forward to virtual reality lessons, and they're constantly asking me when we get to do the next one, and it just shows me that they're so eager to do the learning and that the learning is sticking with them.
I definitely noticed during the lessons the engagement was huge. Students that sometimes might have not always been on task were really on task, really focused on what they were doing. There was a lot of excitement. You could just hear it in the room with them describing to their friends what they had seen. They went out to other classrooms and were telling other students about it. They were excited to find out, how are we going to use this again? Wouldn't this be cool to use in science or math? Or are you going to tell our other teachers about this? So it definitely increased the excitement and the engagement.
The VR buzz has spread throughout the school, and the VR team has doubled in size from its original members. The VR team has reached out to members of the Leech Lake Band of Ojibwe Division of Resource Management to help build content for the future. The DRM scientists will be recording local content and lessons for the students to see in the classroom. We are continuing to expand the implementation of this project, and we hope to continue to build content with partners in our community, expand the reach of the devices to more classrooms, and overall inspire our kids to go to these places someday. After all, we know that they can do anything.
It is the Milky Way. It's very good though. What? That is the Milky Way. We are part of the...
If you have any questions on this project, please feel free to contact Lindsay Strand, 7th grade science teacher at Cass Lake Bena Middle School. Miigwech and thank you from everybody at Cass Lake Bena Schools.